Bloom.
Everyone, and welcome. I am so excited to be here. This is our first episode of Emotionally Free TV. I can't wait to share all sorts of good stuff with you, and I can't believe that I'm here on Facebook Live. This is like the first time I've ever done this, and it's just amazing that we have this type of technology. It's just awesome. So, what makes me excited is because I get to share so many good things with you and take you on a journey every week. So I hope that you come and join me and jump in and experience all sorts of things with me every week at the same time. Now, many of you are in our community, and if you are, you're probably working on a program that we have called the 7 Secrets to Creating Quantum Shifts Now. So if you're not working on that program yet, I recommend that you do it because it's absolutely free. Today, we just gave the second secret away, so you can go in there if you haven't looked into our Facebook group here, and you can get there by going to www.facebook.com/groups/emotionally free TV. Again, the group is called Emotionally Free TV. If you're in here now, you're enjoying this live. If you're watching this later, well, awesome also. Just join us and you'll get a whole lot of free content, and we're just going to go crazy helping you balance your emotions and move forward in your life differently than maybe you have done so in the past. So today we're going to talk about how to shift negative thoughts for good. How to shift negative thoughts for good. Have you ever wanted to shift negative thoughts? Have you felt like, oh my God, things are crazy, and your mind is just running around like the hamster on the wheel, and it's too much for you? Well, stay tuned. Today we're going to be talking about how negative thoughts can vanish. That's it. How negative thoughts can vanish. I also want to get your opinion here before I go on with the show here. How did you like the intro? How did you like the intro? Actually, what I like to do is I like to play the intro again before we jump into our subject, because some of you may not have been here watching, and I think it's so cool, but I want your opinion. What do you think? Do you like it? Let me know. So let's play the intro one more time, and then we'll get into our subject. Here we go.
Take on your day, take on your life, take on the moment in this time. Open your heart, open some space, create your life in just that way. Take on your day, take on your life, take on the moment in this time. Open your heart, open some space, create your life in just that way. Take on your day. You can do it. Here he is now, Joshua Bloom.
What did you think? If you happen to see that just now and you want to make a comment, go ahead and do so. Just comment there, and I'll be able to see it, which is kind of awesome with this new technology here. And that's why we're doing a live show, so that we can communicate and share information and go back and forth with each other. Joe's here. Hey, Joe. And Anne's, I see you. And Shirley. Hey, how you doing? This is awesome. So where you put your attention matters. Where you put your attention matters. That is so key. A lot of times we put our attention in our head. Well, why do we do that? Conditioning. We are conditioned to put our attention in our head. We've been taught for years, since we were children, to do that. I remember my father, he would say to me, Joshua, think before you act. Well, where do you think we think? Yeah, that's right here. So what's happening is if we overthink too much with our head, and our attention is in our head, we're going to get more thoughts. How do you think negative thoughts are created? Well, by being in the head. Because if your attention is all up here, you're making the thoughts come more and more. What you put your attention on grows. So if your energy frequency is too low, and then you have thoughts, what are those thoughts going to be? That's right, negative thoughts. And if you don't want negative thoughts, well, we have a solution for that, and I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So in a moment, I'm going to talk about the difference between being in your head and being in your body, because there's a big difference, and I'm going to share what that's about, and then I'm going to go to the next segment. But before I do, I have to mention all these great people that are saying hello. Sue is here, and I see Patricia and Rosemary and Jen and Margarita, and Lil is here, and Vicky's here, and Tatiana's here. Oh, thank you all for showing up, because this is just awesome. So, all right. So now, the difference between being in your head and being in your body is this. It really has to do with where your attention is. If your attention is here, you get more thoughts, just like we said before. But if you bring down your attention, down to the base of your spine or lower, well, what happens then? Your body becomes more grounded. And if you really get in there, you get to a level of what we call being in your body. And when you're in your body, you're at a deeper level than just connecting to the earth, which is what makes you feel stable. So connecting to the earth makes you feel stable, but taking it a deeper connection to being in the body, it really makes you feel good. So right now, go ahead, put your attention at the base of your spine, or even lower at the base under your feet, just for the moment, and just feel how that feels in your body. Good. Excellent. Notice how that feels, because when you really bring it back to basics, you start to feel better. Now, the difference between being in your head and being in your body, for right now, is about attention. But it's also about intention. Where you put your attention is important, but your intention behind it matters, right? So if your intention is to just be open and alive and happy and awesome, then what do you think you're going to create? Well, happy, alive, and awesome, right? So let's create happy, alive, and awesome, and whatever words you want to put to it. Let's get into the body by just softening, relaxing, and being in this moment, because it's so powerful to be here, right now, in the moment. I remember I read so many books, and they all told me, hey, you've got to be in the moment. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And all the benefits that came from it, being in the moment, was going to be wonderful for me. And that was going to be awesome. But you know what? None of the books told me how to be in the moment. So if you don't know how to be in the moment, how can you be in the moment? So I'm sharing that secret with you, which is putting your awareness at the base of your spine and having the intention for greatness and amazingness. Yeah, how about that for your day? Allow yourself to be in that place. All right, it's time for our next segment. Here we go. Okay, well, let me tell you a story. A long time ago, I remember I turned on the TV, and it just happened to be a news station. And they mentioned something about water and how the water was bad. I didn't hear where this was or anything more than the water was bad somewhere. And I flicked the station to go onto another station so that I didn't have to hear the negative news of the news. And unfortunately, I got zapped pretty badly. We call that getting triggered. And I got triggered so badly because all I could think of is that my water was bad and I couldn't drink it. Now, that wasn't even true. My water wasn't bad. It wasn't happening in my area. But I started to associate what I heard from the news and associate it to my situation in the moment, which wasn't such a great idea, but I didn't know I was even doing it. And I just got so triggered that my thoughts got wild. My thoughts started going crazy, telling me all sorts of things about how I wasn't safe and how the water was going to be bad. So guess what I did? I stopped drinking water. Well, not a good idea. I got so scared to drink the water, I just stopped drinking water. And it was difficult. It took me about 24 hours before I was able to release it, because I didn't even know what had happened to me. This, of course, was many years ago when I was in a different situation than I am now. And so at that time, I was just so scared because of this situation. And I learned something from this. I learned something about negative thoughts. I learned something about it because negative thoughts have everything to do with your experience of how you interpret what you hear, what's going on in your world, what you think. All of it is about interpretation. So however you interpret it, then that's how you're going to experience it. And when you experience it in a negative way like I did, wow, it could be really, really difficult. And if it's difficult for you, don't worry about it, because it can be changed with quantum energy transformation. Now let's talk about another story that happened with negative thoughts that I find very similar but very interesting, but it didn't happen to me. There was a friend of mine who called me up on the phone and she said, Joshua, I've been doing this thing called affirmations. And she was affirming herself all day long. She felt so great. She was like, I am the affirming queen. And she would affirm herself every moment she could, and every time she did it, she said she felt better. And she felt better and better and better and better. And I thought, well, maybe I'm missing something, because I always thought that affirmations weren't always that successful. And sometimes they could be detrimental, I thought. But I never really experienced it that way. So I let her know that I wanted to hear more. Yeah, tell me more. What's going on with these affirmations and how are they working for you? So the next day, she went ahead and she affirmed some more. And she said these affirmations over and over and over again. She said she felt great. By the third day, she wasn't feeling so great anymore. And things were a problem. Her thoughts went wild. Before she was affirming things, she didn't really have all that many negative thoughts. But in order for you to affirm something, you need to hold down the negative emotions. And when you hold them down, that's called suppression. But she wasn't knowing she was suppressing. So in order to say the affirmation, she was actually suppressing the negative. And it built up, and it built up. And all it wanted to do was go, ah! And it did on the third day. On the third day, it blew up. I called her on the phone and said, hey, I haven't heard from you today. How's everything going? And she says, not good. I said, what happened? She said, well, I was affirming so all the time and doing these affirmations, and I was feeling so good. And today I feel like everything is totally the opposite of that, and maybe even worse. And so I realized that not only was she suppressing, but she was letting the negative thoughts kind of build up and get bigger and bigger and go crazy. And that's exactly what happened. And so it was kind of difficult for her to move forward. And so I helped her with quantum energy transformation. I got her back in her body because she was totally whacked out at that moment. And I got her back in her body. I had her start to open up her auric field, to breathe, to connect to herself, and to get out of this thing, which is where you do affirmations, by the way, their head. And so we started to breathe together and open together. And it only took like 5 minutes. And she was like, I feel like I'm back again. I feel like I'm myself again. And I was so excited for her. I couldn't believe what was happening and how it was going. So, thoughts create anxiety or any negative feeling. Anxiety creates thoughts. See the pattern here? It goes back and forth. How to stop the cycle? Well, how do you stop the cycle from having either negative thoughts that make you feel anxious or negative, or having the, no, I just mixed that all up. Let's try that again. So either having the negative thoughts that create the anxiety, or having the anxiety which creates the negative thoughts. So how do you get out of that cycle? I know it was difficult for me many years ago when I couldn't get out of the cycle. I was stuck. I was so stuck I didn't know if I was going to survive, truthfully. But I did, and I learned something from that too. And what I learned was that getting out of the cycle is really about getting into your body. Getting into your body and opening up and allowing yourself to get out of here. Now, negative thoughts, where do they live? They live in your head. So you've got to bring your attention low, away from the negative thoughts. When your attention is low and away from the negative thoughts, you can't get to the thoughts. Make sense? There's another thing I want to share with you about negative thoughts. And it's this. If your energy frequency is low, then you're going to be at the level of where the negative thoughts exist. But if you move your attention, not your attention, sorry. If you move your energy frequency higher than where your negative thoughts are, then you don't see the negative thoughts. They're below you. They're not there. You see? So bringing your attention low and your energy frequency high at the same time instantly gets the negative thoughts to be gone, and permanently gone for good. How about that? So let's see here. I'm seeing some people mentioning some things. I see Sue, thank you so much. Not necessarily grounded, just in the body. Yes. So being in the body is a deeper experience of being grounded. Being grounded is just being connected to the earth. We want to go into a deeper place of being in the body, which means that you're present in the moment. You're connected to your higher self. You're connected to the morphogenetic field. You're connected to the quantum field. You're connected to every field there is. And the only way to do that is to get into your body by going down. Raising your energy frequency is a great thing to do, and we're going to do that in just a few minutes. Before we do that, we're going to go into the tip of the day. So the tip for the day is to keep your attention low in your body. How about that for a tip, right? Away from the negative thoughts. Raise your energy frequency to rise above the negative thoughts. That's important. Those two aspects together will work together to help you be successful in your life. So we're going to do an exercise. We're going to play with this a little bit, and we're going to get into the earth energy. Let's take in a deep breath first. All right, I'm going to help you do something that probably is not something you'll want to do again, but at least to give you an idea of what this is all about. I want you to take your attention and put it in your head. That's it. Put your attention right in your head, and it's okay because I'm going to help you get out of it, but put your attention in your head as if you had laser focus going right there to your head. That's it. Just put your attention all in your head. Get that hyper-focus experience. That's it. Get that hyper-focus experience. Excellent. Okay. Now, really sense what that's like. You probably feel a little top-heavy, and you probably feel a little out of sorts, maybe even dizzy. You might even sense this kind of unfocused kind of experience. All right, that's enough of that. Let's now get back into the body. Bring your attention down your body. Down your body to the base of your spine or under your feet. You can choose which one. And feel the difference of that. Breathing is good. Excellent. Now, how does that feel? Can you feel the difference? Now, raising your energy frequency, what we're going to do that real quick is we're going to breathe 5 times. That's it, just 5 times. We're going to breathe 5 times to raise your energy frequency. We're going to go faster with each breath, and that will raise your frequency. Here we go. In through the nose, out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Open. Good. Rosemary was saying when she put her attention in her head, she got a headache. Absolutely. Imagine what it's like to live like that. Some of us have done that a lot. So bring that attention down. Excellent. And just breathe. Keep breathing. Nice and easy. That's it. Now that we've taken that moment to breathe and we got back into their body, if you need a moment, take a moment to do it. It's okay. We're still here. One more. Good. How do you feel now? Do you feel like your energy frequency has risen a bit? If it hasn't, just breathe a little bit harder and you'll notice that it will. Okay, let's get ready for our next segment. Ponder this. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to take these special cards that I made. I made some cards, I think it's a couple years ago now. I made these beautiful oracle cards. And they're really neat because they have pictures of different things, like everyday life kinds of things. It's kind of neat. Let me just go to the next card here. You can see, oh, I think that's upside down. Oh, they're all upside down. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we can see mind to beingness. We can see suppressing. We can see all different cards. So I'm going to mix the cards up a little bit. As you can see, I'm mixing them up. Oops, I'm dropping them on the floor. Okay. Well, might as well have a little bit of fun with it, right? Okay, so I'm mixing them up. You can hear me mixing. If you can't see me mixing, there we go. So now I'm going to pick a card, just one card for us today. And the card that I'm going to pick is this one. What card is this? Okay. Against the grain. This is interesting. Against the grain happens to be about going against the norm. Now, you might consider this to be a great card, like, wow, I need to go against the norm a little bit more, be my own person, and step out into the world in a different way. Or maybe you look at it and say, wow, I'm going against the grain so much, my life is getting stuck. How do you see yourself going against the grain? Is it something that triggers you? Or is it something that enlivens you and says, wait, I need to move more towards that? Notice where in your body you feel it. Now that you're in the body, right? Putting your attention at the base of your spine, look at the card and feel what you feel in your body. And let's take a moment to release it. That's it. Just take a moment to release it. Releasing it is simple as feeling it in the body, breathing in, and just letting it go with your breath. That's it. Keeping your attention at the base of your spine. Now, if you don't put your attention at the base of your spine, you're just breathing. So put your attention at the base of your spine and let it go with your breath. Let's do 5 breaths and let it all go all at the same time. Here we go together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Let it go. Okay. How does that feel now? I hope that it feels good, because letting it go like this, when you breathe, when your attention's in your body, it makes a difference. And when you let it go, you feel lighter and better. And if every day you feel lighter and better, wow, what will happen? So this week, focus on that. Allow yourself to feel lighter and better as you keep your awareness in your body. Allow yourself to create something new for yourself, because you can. All right. So now the next segment is You Ask. Okay, Martha asked a question. She said, some days I just feel overwhelmed by life in general. How can I get my emotions under control and feel more balanced and at ease? You know, Martha, that's a great question, because some days we just feel overwhelmed. Well, where is overwhelm happening? Well, I bet you guessed it already by listening to this show today, right? Your head. When your attention is in your head, you get more overwhelmed more easily. And your life gets out of control all the time because of where your attention is. So every day, allow yourself to remind you. Say, hey, self, I want to remind you to be in the body. Take a moment to just take a breath. Take a moment to notice if you hold your breath. And stop holding your breath and keep breathing and open up a little bit. You can get your emotions under control and feel more balanced with ease simply by paying attention. Paying attention to inside, not outside. Paying attention to inside, not in your head. And when you pay more attention to you and treat yourself well, that's when the magic happens. If you have any questions that you'd like answered, well, go to emotionallyfree.tv, which is the website for our TV show. Exciting! That's emotionallyfree.tv. And you can click on the Send to Joshua. Send me whatever you want. Send me a picture. Send me your what you need help with. Send me some suggestions. Whatever it is, just send it to me, and I will be there for you and help you and answer it on the show. How about that? And also, the first person to send me some questions, I'm saying this, and pay attention, I'm going to give you a free session. So if you would like a free session, send me some questions, and if you're the first person, I'm going to give you a free session with me, and we're going to enjoy ourselves, and I'm going to take you to the next level, and I'm going to help you release, transform in that moment to change something that's really meaningful to you. So go ahead now to the website. That's www.emotionallyfree.tv. And go to Send to Joshua and let me know what you want to tell me. And send me some questions. I'd love to answer them on this show. Okay. Let me see if there's anything here. I see here, Tatiana said, my way of life and my perfect theme for your show. Hugs. Oh, thanks so much, Tatiana. That was very sweet. So here's a message today to live by. If you don't like the life you've always lived, live your life as the person you choose to become now. Live your life as the person you choose to become now. So look into the future. Decide, who do you want to become? And live your life as that person. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that amazing? What else is possible? When you set that intention to live as the person you know you can be, your life will change. It's kind of like the first way to get there is simply to intuit, to look forward into life and to look at life in such a way that allows you to create exactly what you want. And when life brings up something that's not what you want, it's a clue that you're not in your body, you're disconnected, and it's time to reconnect. How about that? I thank you so much, and thank you all for being here. You all are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Stacy, and thank you, Travis, and Lil, and Tatiana, and Anza, and Rosemary, and Stacy, and Lori, and Lakayo, and if I missed you, it's just that there's so many. And I thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day, and definitely write in and tell me about how you like this intro, because I'm going to play it again on our way out. And thank you so much. Come back next week. We're going to have some more fun, and I'll take you to the next level next week. Bye for now.
Take on your day, take on your life, take on the moment in this time. Open your heart, open some space, create your life in just that way. Take on your day, take on your life, take on the moment in this time. Open your heart, open some space, create your life in just that way. Take on your day. You can do it. Here he is now, Joshua Bloom.